So if you've watched any of my videos, you've probably seen some of the content I've posted about my current job, my current company, my current position. Just a quick backstory. I've gone over this a few times on my channel, but I basically moved out of my parents' house earlier on this year, moved to an entire different state, ended up quitting my job and moved just to get a fresh start. I just felt like it was time to do something different. So that was earlier on this year. Fast forward to where I'm at now. I'm working for a new company, got a new job, in my new home, and with this company, it's not exactly what I want to be doing career wise. But with that being said, I have bills to pay, right? So I needed a job in this new state, this new city. So I ended up with my current company, and while I don't take for granted the fact that I have a job, because I know a lot of people are out of work right now, right? Like some people quite literally have no income. They're struggling to pay rent. So I understand that, and I do appreciate the fact that I have a job. But by no means am I happy or content with my current position, my current company. And there's a number of reasons for that. And I think I'm not the only person. Well, scratch that. I know I'm not the only person that feels this way about my current company. Just over the past couple of weeks, I believe 7 people have either quit or been let go. Um, and that's a large number of people, right? Whether it's quitting or being fired, like that's really shaken up, the department, the company. And let me specify too, these are basically every single one of them is in my department. And it's not that they're cutting back or downsizing, like they're going to be hiring people to fill these positions. But I just think it says a lot that I think out of the 7, like 5 of them quit. One of them quit right on the spot. The other 4 put their 2 weeks notice in. And it's just like, it says something about the company, number one, but it also like, it just destroys morale, right? Like if 7 people up and quit or get fired, like that's going to put a damper on things, right? And I will say that aside from this, there's a lot of other shit going on that I'm not necessarily happy about, like just little things, but also bigger things, and constantly changing goals and objectives and metrics and all this other stuff. It's just like I feel like the company doesn't allow ideas to materialize to actually see if they work, and they're constantly changing things and just basically throwing shit at the wall and seeing what's sticking. And it's not even on the wall long enough to see if it works. So it's very frustrating knowing that, I feel like I could do more, number one. And don't get me wrong, like I know it's on me to, find a new job, right? Like no one's going to find myself a new job except for me. But I haven't been at the company incredibly long, and I don't want my resume to look like I just jump around a bunch. So I am sticking it out for a little bit. There are some things that I do like about the company, especially the people. Like I've made friends at the company, and I do, generally speaking, enjoy being around the people that I work with. Like it could be much worse when it comes to that. But the company itself, the direction of the company, the initiatives, the constant changing, like I see flaws in all of that. And again, it's kind of tiring to keep up with, right? Like at first you're like, oh, okay, companies, business changes, companies have to adapt. I get that. But this is on a different level. Like I don't know. I'm not trying to be a complainer here by any means. Trust me. Like I'm genuinely the type of person that's like, if you want something, you have to go out and get it. You got to work for things. Nothing's given to you. But this is like, it's like borderline unbearable, man. It's just annoying and frustrating, and I don't know, whatever. But the reason for this video is I kind of just want to talk about, what I feel like the company is doing wrong, which I just mentioned, but kind of talk about the results of all of it, right? Like I said, 7 people over the past couple of weeks have either quit or been terminated. That destroys morale in the office. And I'm starting to feel burnt out, man. And I have not been at the company that long. Like my previous company, it took about 2 years for me to be like, I'm not happy here anymore. I'm feeling burnt out with this company, this position. And I decided to make a change. Bro, it's October at this point, and I started, you know, in summer, and I'm already like kind of over this. So I don't know. I just wanted to kind of talk about where I'm at with my job. I know I've made a couple videos mentioning it and talking about it, so I like to give you guys updates a little bit on that. Overall, definitely not happy with the company, generally speaking. I don't necessarily think this is going to be a long term thing unless some other opportunity opened up, some other position that I feel like I could learn a lot and I would be happy doing, and then possibly leverage that experience later on down the road, whether that's in like AI or something, I don't know, any industry where I feel like I could excel and take experience and use it to improve my career. Then I would consider, um, you know, doing that, making that transition internally, and working in another position. But what I'm doing right now, the department I'm in, my job, and I'm just genuinely not happy with it. And again, I'm not trying to complain or make myself sound like a victim. Like at the end of the day, it's a paycheck. I do my job. I think I do a good job. You know what I mean? I'm not the best, but I'm not the worst kind of thing. Um, but at the end of the day, this is not something that I want to be doing, for the rest of my life. Both the position itself, but also with the company, the way it, you know, operates at this point in time. And I think that's, again, a lot to do with the constant changes, unrealistic expectations. I feel like there's no clear vision for the company. And I feel like upper management is extremely removed from the realities of sort of the situation. Like the people that I work with, like what we do on a day to day basis, I feel like the people well above us, and I'm not necessarily talking about like my manager, but I'm talking like higher ups, right? Like they have these expectations and they're just not necessarily realistic. But maybe they are, but something needs to change in order to get there. And I think they're just, again, throwing shit at the wall and seeing what's sticking. They're just changing random stuff, trying to see what works rather than like getting input from people who are actually on the ground doing the work, and thinking rationally about the situation and like what could change to improve, numbers and metrics and all that different kind of stuff, right? I'm not going to get too deep into it. But right now, I mean, I know I talked to basically all my coworkers and they're all feeling the same way. They're not motivated. They feel like there's a lack of communication from, the higher ups down to us on the ground floor. And everyone's fed up with it and it's showing, right? People are quitting. People are not doing their job anymore, which is leading them to get fired. So it's just a recipe for disaster. It just seems like it's getting a lot worse. And then as these people leave, then new people have to come on and they have to be trained. And then that takes away from productivity from the people who are already there and who are already trained. So it's just, I don't know, it's just a big old mess right now. I'm sticking through it. I'm doing my job, doing the best I can. I'm not trying not to stress about it because at the end of the day, it is just a job and it's just some company that I don't plan on working for the rest of my life. So at the end of the day, that kind of keeps me grounded. I just go in, do my work, try to keep a positive mindset. But the fact of the matter is, I've discussed how I feel about it and I'm not too happy and I'm approaching burnout. I feel like at this point, and which is kind of concerning and slightly embarrassing to say, considering I haven't even been there for a year. But it's the truth. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Just wanted to kind of talk about my company, my position, where my head's at with my work. I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. A lot of people I know, both at my job and other companies, are not happy with what they're doing. So I just wanted to let you guys know you're not the only one if that is the case. Just try to keep a positive mindset. Try to make the most of your time outside of work, improve your skills, learn things, try to find new revenue stream or income streams. Just try and improve yourself. That's really all you can do. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate you checking in. If you are new here, I post all kinds of content about personal finance, life experiences, really just anything I feel like talking about. I'll throw it over some gameplay. I post every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and then on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.